Hello everyone and welcome to a new video, and this one's a Q&A, so it's my first ever Q&A. Could go one of two ways. I've had a fair few questions on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube. I'm going to try and go through them as quickly as possible. I'm chewing on some Tic Tacs because my breath reeks. You didn't really need to know that, but I told you anyway. And yeah, let's try and get through them. I've tried to limit it to 10 questions, but there are so many good ones that I'm going to do 12. And I'll try and roll through them in as much detail and as quickly as possible. So let's get into question number one. So question number one is from Mark_G3 on Twitter, and it's: why was the decision made for you to leave Sauber F1 esports team and by whom? The thing is, a very simple answer. I've not left. There was no rumours of me leaving. There was no worry on my front I was going to leave. So I'm still there, and hopefully there for a foreseeable future that involves me racing in the F1 esports series in 2020. But who knows? But yeah, that's basically it. Question number two is from the one and only Hayden6Gullis on Twitter, otherwise known as Big Guns Gullis, which is quite frankly a ridiculous nickname, but there we go. He said to me, if you ever had to get a tattoo, what would you get and where would you get it? Well, to be honest, Hayden, I don't really know, to be honest. I've not really been a fan of tattoos since I was young, so I'd say probably if it was anywhere, my chest, but yeah. That's kind of it. I'm not really too interested in them, so yeah, sorry. Question number three is from Ronan Stamp on Twitter as well, and he said, will you compete in Group 4 or Group 3 this year? So he means GT3 and GT4. Yes. Free World's Fastest Gamer, yes. I don't know specifically what yet. We're hoping obviously for GT3 because it's bigger, faster, more people watch it, and there are plans being put in place for that. Group 4, GT4 will be there as well, no doubt, just to ease me in. I've already driven a GT4, but I'm guessing the plan's GT4 to start with, move into GT3, and then see where it goes from there. It all depends on how well I do. So, like all these things, if I'm fast and I'm winning, it could end up kind of anywhere. If I get in and I'm rubbish, then it's going to stop pretty quickly. So, but yeah, to answer your question, I'll probably be in both this year. Okay, so the next question is from Henrik, and he said, what is your goals for the 2020 GT4 GT3 season? Followed up by, what is your sim racing goals for the season? So the GT4 season will be just a case of me getting in the car, be as quick as possible, as fast as possible, so we can move up to GT3 or whatever we're going to move up to. So it's a stepping stone, but I need to make that stepping stone like that small. Just get over it. GT3, just again be fast, but be the fastest member of the team, be hopefully the fastest member on the grid, surprise everyone with the pace and everything, get other people interested, make sure I can retain a drive for future years, and do World's Fastest Gamer and the whole sim racing community kind of proud. That's probably the best way of describing it, because there'll be a lot of people watching, interested to see how I get on, or how a sim racer can get on in a real car. But I'm sure I can deliver a decent kind of benchmark or give some good results that would impress a few people. The sim racing goals will be just compete in esports, and because I do believe it maintains you / slightly improves you as a better driver, so it's not worth giving it up. People have said he's still going to do it. It's like, obviously, I'm not going to just jack it all in because I've got a race drive for 1 year. F1 esports, I need to try and get to the front of that field on that grid and race this year. That's definitely a goal of mine. And any other esports thing I compete in, just win it, basically. That's the goal. I mean, we did a pretty good job of that last year, so I just need to try and replicate last year, but make it a bit better. Strive to improve is the way of putting it. But yeah, that is the answer to those questions. Good questions though, Henrik. Right then, on to the next question. TJ Deacon, a very, very loyal viewer on my YouTube channel. How has things changed in your real life since WFG? Has work changed much now? They okay? So basically, before WFG, I was working in a firm called Gibbs Gears. Callum and Mudge, if you're watching. And yeah, I basically was a machinist on CNC machines, making parts for airplanes, Formula 1 cars, loads of stuff. So it was a job in engineering, so I really enjoyed it, and I got offered to go and do a degree just before I left. So it was quite a big decision in my life, I guess. But I took the sim racing esports route. WFG came about, got an invite to it pretty much straight away, and then thankfully I won it. And since then, obviously, it's been amazing. Driving real cars, preparing for a season in racing. and doing more esports and focusing on YouTube a bit more as well. So my time has kind of been freed up in that respect, but it's just been kind of consumed by all the racing duties. So life's changed a lot in the last 9 months, but it's for the better, I think. I do miss the people at Gibbs Gears. I do miss working in engineering. It's such a satisfying job. But yeah, I won't go into it too much, but if there's any people out there who have a similar type of job, you'll know what I mean. So yeah, good question though. Right, so my next question is from a guy I raced at the weekend, Sebastian Montoya 58, and he is obviously Juan Pablo Montoya's son, and he was really quick on the sim in Miami the other day, and his dad won the event. So yeah, still can't go over that. Still can't let go of that. But he said to me, what is your favourite track and car? Simple, Suzuka, and car, it probably, that's one I'm probably not too sure on. I'd say just the fastest car there's ever been, so it'd be a 2019 F1 car, or a 2018 one, probably the 2018 Ferrari. I don't really, yeah, whatever's the quickest is usually my favourite, so I'm sure this year they're going to break some more records and I'll have a new favourite car. Although, quick side note, I would not mind driving or being anywhere near a modern day LMP1. They look amazing. I know they have not got quite the same pace of a Formula 1 car, but they're just amazing. Like the cockpit's so tight, it's confined, and it's still rapid. So that's a close second. Quick pit stop at the halfway mark. Right, well, the next question is just ridiculous, really, because it's from at KTB98 on Instagram, and it says, how have you got such a fit girlfriend? And the thing is, I don't. So, yeah, quite a simple answer to that, really. So the next question is from Speed Racer Cry, and that's from Instagram. How did it come about that you signed a contract with Veloce? So my team, Veloce Esports, they basically signed me up about 2 years ago, and it was off the back of my first esports comp on Project Cars 2 out in Austria. I finished second, won €4,000. It was the first kind of big event I've ever done. I won like 6 out of 9 races that day. I couldn't believe what was going on. My girlfriend was there. It's such a sick memory, mate. Oh, that was like a big turning point in my career. Anyway, Jamie Veloce J-Mac or Jamie McLaurin got in touch with me on Twitter after, pretty much the next week while I was at work. I remember it. I was on the grinder, and no, that sounds really weird. But there's a machine called the grinder, and I was on it. I got a text or got a Twitter message, and it just said, "Do you want to talk regarding Veloce?" So I called him on the way back, and then yeah, I went to see them in the HQ. I saw the contract, took it home, reviewed it, signed it, and the rest is kind of history. So, yeah, that was quite a cool trip back to the past there. Right, so the next question is from Drake W on YouTube, and it's a quality question. And it says, how much Lego can you stick up your bum? And I suppose the only answer to that is, I don't know, just a rectangular one and a long one. But nah, in all seriousness, I love the Inbetweeners. Probably my favourite ever show, so yeah, keep those kind of questions coming, people. I really enjoy that. That was good. Okay, so the next question is from Sebastian Vettel Fan 5 on YouTube, and it's a decent question because I feel like I have to redeem myself after that question from about 2 questions ago. He says, do you have a girlfriend? If yes, for how long? I do have a girlfriend. Her name's KTB98. Katie Bradbury, and I met her at school actually, so I'm 22 now. We started going out when we were 15, so yeah, that's 7 years, isn't it? So, or almost 7 years. I think our anniversary is like, it's this week. Oh God, Jesus. But yeah, that's kind of that really. Met her in school and been together ever since. So yeah, she's been on every single up and down I've been through, really, and vice versa. So I suppose long may that continue. So the next question is from It's Noel on YouTube, and it says, what is your favourite car and which car are you driving in real life? So in real life I'm driving the Toyota GT86, very similar to the Subaru BRZ, basically the same car. Rear wheel drive, underpowered, it's only got 200 horsepower, but I got it last July and it's fun, it's sick, it's good, it drifts really well and it looks kind of cool, so I'm enjoying that. But a dream car, I've got a couple. I'd love a Ferrari Enzo. I'd love a Veyron. I've only ever seen one of them in my life. But my next car, I'm going to try and go for the new Supra, Toyota Supra. I do like the look of that, and there's not many of them made at the moment, so they're quite rare. I'm going to have to save up for a couple of years, I think. But yeah, that's that question done. And so the final question is from Panos Diam, and it says, how do you deal with pressure? That's a very, very good question, Panos, and it works differently for everyone. Pressure is a horrible thing. You've got to act like it's not there, but it is. And I was one of them people when I was younger that I used to try and get over pressure, but it always used to affect me. I always used to get flustered, I'd start shaking, I'd always used to mess up. I've grown and learned how to try and get hold of it a little bit. No one's ever immune to it. People always make mistakes. You know, Lewis Hamilton even makes mistakes. So it's just minimizing, it's all about minimizing when pressure affects you and doing things that can help you get over it or help you push it away. So practice a lot for an event. Make sure you're hydrated, make sure you eat the right things, you know, make sure you do everything possible for you to perform well, because pressure will be there inevitably. It's just, you know, pushing it away, not letting it affect you. I'm not trying to be a therapist, but it's a very, very big issue for a lot of people. So just don't focus on the negative things. Like, don't focus, oh, if I mess up now, I'm going to start at the back of the grid, or please don't mess up this corner, please don't. If you go into a corner thinking that, you're screwed. So it's just focusing on A, the task at hand, and B, trying to let your mind go blank and do what you do well naturally. If you start doing things with, you know, while thinking about it too much, you're done. You're not going to be quick, you're not going to be consistent. So it's a very weird thing to try and answer, and everyone has their own little way of doing it. But yeah, I'm sure, well, I hope I tried to answer that as best I could. Alright then, well that is basically it. That is 12 questions completed. I hope you feel like you know a little bit more about me after this. I'm sure I'll do more in the future, so don't worry about that. You can have a few more Tic Tacs for that breath. But yeah, it's been actually quite fun answering your questions. Sorry I couldn't answer more, but we'd be sat here all day. So yeah, thank you to those who sent those 12 questions in. They're brilliant. Thank you to everyone else as well who sent any question in. I just thought those 12 were the best for this one. But there will be more in the future. It's kind of a 10k celebratory video, so once again thank you for that. And thanks for watching the video. So like it if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, comment what you thought of it, 'cause it's my first ever Q&A, so I'd like to know what you thought of it, and sub to the channel. That is basically it. So I guess until the next video, whatever it may be, I'll see you soon.